Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Money in the Bank pay-per-view results. Last couple of weeks, but have yet to make a TV debut since being called up to SmackDown. Tom Phillips welcomes us to the first match on the pre-show. He joined in by Corey Graves and Byron Saxon. Out first comes Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Bludgeon Brothers. Out next as Greg Hamilton does the ring introductions. Gallows starts off with Rowan as they go at it. Rowan misses the charge in the corner, and Gallows unloads with body blows. Harper tags in, but Gallows rocks him. Anderson comes in for a double team. Anderson takes Rowan out and sends him to the floor. Double team Harper, and then gets hung up in the ropes. Harper tumbles out to the floor. Gallows and Anderson then head out to the floor and keep up the attacks on their opponents. Champs turn around on the outside with double teams Anderson. Then Gallows. They keep control and hit a double drop kick on the floor. Rowan and Harper bring Anderson back in the ring. And stand tall as some fans boo as we go to commercial break during pay-per-view. Pre-show. Now back for the break. Harper covers Anderson for a 2 count. Harper then slingshots Anderson under the middle rope for another 2 count. Rowan tags in, keeps control, dropping Anderson into a backbreaker. Gallows is still on the outside trying to recover. Harper and Rowan keep Anderson down with big moves and frequent tags. Anderson fights back, but Harper levels him. Harper with a big chop against the ropes. Harper with a leg drop for a 2 count. Rowan comes back in, slashes Anderson for a pin attempt. Rowan keeps Anderson grounded, but he fights up. Rowan drops Anderson again and yells out to some boos. Rowan with a big splash in the corner, and more showing off. Anderson finally moves out of the corner, and Rowan runs into the ring post. Harper then tags in, but Anderson catches him with a spine buster. Gallows finally returns to the ring and waits for a tag. Gallows tags in and boots Harper. Gallows with a kick to the head. Gallows then drops Harper with a kick to the jaw. Gallows then splashes Harper in the corner and kicks Rowan off the apron. Gallows with a pump handle slam with Harper. Gallows yells out and nails Rowan as he comes in. Anderson runs in with a kick to Rowan. Rowan is then sent to the floor. Anderson leaps over the top and takes him down. Gallows turns around to a big boot from Harper, but Anderson breaks it pin. Harper drops Anderson to send him to the apron. Gallows and Harper trade shots. Rowan runs in, stops the Magic Killer on Harper. Rowan takes out Anderson. They hit double teams, sit down powerbomb on Gallows, and Harper holds it for the pin to retain the titles. After the match, Rowan and Harper stand tall as the music plays. We go to replays. Bludgeon Brothers raise the titles in the corner. As we go back to the panel, Renee sends us to a preview of Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax. Next, and the panel discusses the match. Booker ends up standing and acknowledging the crowd after a loud Booker T chant breaks out. Otunga goes with Rousey, but the others believe Jax will retain. That's it for the kickoff. Our prediction, my prediction was a interruption anyways. 2018 Money in the Bank pay-per-view starts off with a video package. We're live from the Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois. Tom Phillips welcomes us to the Money in the Bank. He joined in by Corey Graves and Byron Saxon. We go right to the ring for tonight's opener, a Blue Brand match. If you're not familiar with Blue Brand, that's SmackDown. Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. Daniel Bryan made his way to the ring first for a pop. Big Cass was out next, and Greg Hamilton does the ring introductions. We'll see the Spanish and German announce teams at ringside as Cass makes his way into the ring as the bell rings. Fan chant for Bryan as they lock up, and Cass takes it to the corner. Bryan turns it around with kicks. Cass misses a shot. Bryan turns it back around in the corner with kicks and as fans go along. Bryan then mounts Cass in the corner, works him over, but Cass overpowers him to the mat. Bryan ends up going for the heel hook early on, but Cass fights it off. Bryan turns it back around and goes for another hook, but Cass sends him to the corner. Bryan with more kicks in the corner now. Cass sends Bryan to the apron and then charges, knocking him from the apron into the barrier. Some fans boo as Cass stands tall. Referee counts as we get a replay of Bryan going into the barrier. Fan chant, "You can't wrestle like Cass now." Cass drops Bryan's ribs over the apron and brings it back into the ring. Cass slows the match down now and pounds on Bryan. Cass drops an elbow to the back and an elbow to the chest. Cass with a 2 count. Cass stands tall again to boos. Fan chant for Bryan as he makes a comeback until Cass grabs him in a bear hug. Cass keeps Bryan held up in the middle of the ring. Bryan fights free as the fans chant, "Yes." But Cass sends Bryan to the mat with a knee to the gut. Bryan lands on his feet out of the corner and runs the ropes, but Cass catches him with a big side slam for a 2 count. Cass with more offense in the corner. Cass mocks the "yes" chant. Ends up hitting the turnbuckles as Bryan moves. Bryan kicks as the fans chant "yes" again. Bryan with a dragon screw leg whip. And then another. Bryan keeps working on the knee and slams the kneecap down to the apron. Bryan pounds on the knee and slams it into the ring post next. Bryan goes for another leg shot into the ring post, but Cass kicks him off. Bryan goes to the top and nails a missile drop kick, sending Cass to his knees in the ring. Bryan with a big corner drop kick and then another. Cass blocks the third attempt, but Bryan counters mid-move and drops Cass into the yes lock as the fans pop. Cass finally makes it to the bottom rope to break the hold. Bryan sends Cass into the barrier and runs the ropes, drop kicking Cass through the ropes. Cass goes back into the barrier. Bryan goes up top, nails a crossbody to Cass on the floor. Fan chant "yes" again as we get a replay of the dive. Bryan goes up top, and they bring him back in, but Cass crotches him. Cass then rocks Bryan while he's dazed on the top rope. Cass climbs up with Bryan and nails a super fallaway slam from the corner. Bryan still kicks out at 2. Fan chant "a-hole" at Cass. Cass with a torture rack in the middle of the ring now. Bryan fights back with elbows as Cass drives Bryan into the mat for another pin attempt. Fans then chant for Bryan to make a comeback. Cass charges with a big boot and he gets hung up on the top rope. Bryan takes out the knee with 2 chop blocks. Bryan with a yes kicks. Cass grabs Bryan by his throat. Bryan counters and takes out the knee again. Bryan delivers a roundhouse kick to the head. Bryan leads a yes chant as he waits for Cass to get up. Cass catches Bryan and lifts him high, dropping him to the mat. Cass nails a big boot, but Bryan still kicks out. Fan chant for Bryan as Cass shows some frustration. Cass lifts Bryan for another torture rack. As some fans boo, Bryan slides out, lands on his feet, and delivers the flying knee for a pop. Bryan drops Cass into the heel hook in the middle of the ring, and as Cass screams in pain, and Cass taps for the finish. Winner of the match, Daniel Bryan. After the match, Bryan stands tall with his music playing. Bryan goes to the corner and leads a yes chant as we get replays. Yes chants continue as Cass lifts up the ramp and Bryan celebrates in the ring. New Day is backstage preparing to talk strategy when Kevin Owens walks in. He's brought gifts, pancakes and syrup. He asks which member of the group will be in Money in the Bank tonight, but they're not saying. Owens wonders if one of them would like to take out Braun Strowman. New Day are many things, but they are not cheaters. New Day offers to discuss over pancakes, but Owens doesn't like pancakes. They can't believe it, and this leads to New Day dismissing Owens. Owens tells them not to blame him if Braun destroys everyone later. Owens rants some more, says IHOP was right to temporarily change the P to B for burgers, and he finally leaves after more shenanigans from the New Day. Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley's match was up next. We go to the ring. Out comes Sami for this next match. Michael Cole saw his own commentary with Jonathan Coachman and Corey Graves. Bobby Lashley was out next. Bell rings, but Sami is on the floor stalling. Fan chant Olay chants as Sami takes his time coming back to the ring. Lashley charges, but Sami goes right back to the floor. Lashley finally chases Sami around the ring and then back in. Sami gets tangled on the ropes on the way back out. Lashley goes for him. The referee doesn't see it, but Sami rakes Lashley Sammy returns to the ring. Lashley rolls in the ring, but Sammy starts stomping. Sammy works Lashley over with more strikes and mounts him now. Sammy keeps control and comes off the top with a crossbody, but Lashley catches him in midair and delivers a following slam. Lashley with a big running clothesline in the corner. Lashley with a running shoulder in the corner now, back and forth in the middle of the ring. Lashley catches Sammy with a big spine buster. Lashley with a big vertical suplex. Fan chant one more time, but Lashley manhandles Sammy with a backbreaker and then drops him on the mat. Lashley with another delayed vertical suplex as fans pop. Lashley manhandles Sammy again over the shoulder, slams him to the mat. Lashley then delivers a third delayed vertical suplex and holds Sammy in the air before dropping him down. Lashley covers for the win. After the match, Lashley stands tall over Sammy and poses as his music plays. Lashley hits a quarter to pose as we go to a break. Sammy takes a long time to exit the ring as he could be suffering from a possible injury. Back from a preview of Mile 22 with Ronda Rousey and Michael Cole saw with Corey Graves and Jonathan Coachman. We see backstage video from earlier today of Nia Jax showing a referee some of the moves she can do. We also see Ronda Rousey backstage warming up. We get a promo for USA Network's upcoming Miz. What's up next? We go to the ring. Elias is out with his guitar. Elias plays a little and says he is WWE and that everyone will see that WWE stands for Walk with Elias tonight. Even my daughter was counting along with it. What does WWE stand for? Walk with Elias. Remember? If you watch my WWE live event, I showed you my poster. Elias then knocks people of Chicago as his gimmick as they boo him. It sounds like "We deserve it" chant break out from the crowd, and Elias agrees. Elias tells them to silence their cell phones and shut their mouths as he starts playing. He stops and says, "Chicago just isn't worth it." Elias come up, and out comes Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins to a pop as JoJo does the introductions. The bell rings and they stare each other down from the corner. They lock up and go at it. Elias takes Rollins down, but Rollins counters and they trade holds for a few minutes. Elias rocks Rollins with a back elbow and drops him. Elias stomps on Rollins while he's on the mat now. Rollins blocks a shot and fights back. Rollins nails the dropkick, and Elias goes to the floor for a breather. Rollins launches himself out and takes Elias down on the floor. They bring him back in, and Rollins flies in with a clothesline. Rollins unloads in the corner. Now, as the referee warns him, Elias ends up dropping Rollins on his neck on the apron with a big lariat. Elias unloads in the corner now. Elias for more offense and 2 count as he continues to focusing on the neck. Elias drops Rollins with a stiff DDT, but Rollins kicks out of 2. Elias then drops Rollins again for another 2 count. Fan chant for Rollins as Elias keeps him in a modified camel clutch. They go to the mat and Elias keeps the submission locked in. Rollins kicks Elias and looks to make a comeback, but Elias drops him. And then Elias goes for a knee drop, but Rollins moves out of the way. More back and forth in the corner. Rollins mounts some offense and hits the sling blade. Rollins sends Elias out to the floor. Rollins then runs the ropes and nails a suicide dive, sending Elias back into the barrier. Rollins keeps control for another close 2 count. Elias with a close 2 count after flooring Rollins with a high knee when Rollins' knee buckles on him. Elias with another 2 count as Rollins sells the knee injury. Rollins fights back as they trade shots in the middle of the ring. Rollins unloads, but Elias jumps with a big boot. Rollins is with a super kick for a close 2 count. Rollins goes up top for the frog splash, but Elias gets his knees up, covers for a 2 count. Elias shows some frustration as he could not get the 3 count. Elias then goes up top, but Rollins cuts him off. Rollins goes back up for the superplex, but holds it in for the Falcon Arrow. Elias still kicks out of 2. Fans chant "Burn it down" for Rollins as he stands up, cranks up his stomp. It's like tuning up the band, HBK style. And Rollins rolls out of the way and goes to the floor. Rollins runs the ropes for the dive, but Elias catches him, sends him into the barrier. Elias sends Rollins into the post and and the steel steps. Elias brings him back into the ring and hits a flying elbow, but Rollins kicks out just in time. Fan chant for Rollins as they're both down on the middle of the ring. Elias gets up first, but Rollins blocks the drift away finisher. Elias beats Rollins down. Elias takes Rollins to the top and climbs up himself. Rollins slides down and goes for a buckle bomb, but his knee gives out. Rollins blocks the drifter away again and rolls Elias up for a 2 count. Schoolboy roll up. Elias comes from behind for a 2 count. Rollins counters that with a roll up of his own and uses a handful of tights to get the pin to retain the title. After the match, we're getting video package for the next match. Money in the Bank women's ladder match. Ember Moon versus Natalya versus Sasha versus Alexa versus Naomi versus Charlotte versus Becky Lynch versus Lana. We see the Money in the Bank briefcase hanging high above the ring as the bell rings, and out first comes Sasha. Becky was out next, followed by Ember, then Lana, then Natalya, and then Naomi, and as JoJo does the ring introduction. Alexa Bliss was out last. No, Alexa Bliss was out next, and Charlotte was out last. And normally, the last one they announce possibly is the winner, but wait and see in the results. The bell rings and the chaos breaks out. And by the way, my daughter's favorite wrestler in this match is Alexa Bliss. Flair tosses Moon onto the barrier outside the ring. Becky gets a pop as she stands tall in the ring. Moon comes back over the barrier and takes out Becky on the floor. Natalya and Ember tangle over a ladder. Moon sends Natalya to the steel ring steps. Moon brings the ladder in, stands it up, but here comes Naomi. They both go at it. Sasha gets involved and Naomi gets set to the floor. Moon drops Sasha with an insecurity. Moon tries to stand the ladder up, but Sasha rocks her. They both avoid shots into the ladders, but Moon hits a big crossbody to Banks onto the ladder for a pop as Lana comes in and slams Moon, stopping her from using a ladder. Lana decks Moon with the ladder, slams her face first into the ladder with the X Factor. Lana tosses the ladder into to the floor and grabs a bigger ladder to climb up with. Natalya runs in and avoids a ladder getting pushed onto her by Lana. Natalya slams Lana on the ladder. Naomi runs in, but Natalya slams her onto the ladder. Natalya with offense and a low drop kick to Naomi. Fans pop for that. Flair comes in and chops Natalya around the ring. Flair unloads and tosses Natalya over her head with a suplex. Flair stands tall and gets a pop. Becky comes in and stares at Flair as fans pop. They argue over a ladder as the fans chant for Becky. Naomi comes in and jumps off of their ladder to knock Natalya back out of the ring. Natalya drop kicks the ladder into Becky and Flair for a pop. Naomi then takes out Bliss on the floor. Naomi with a blockbuster from the apron to the floor on Sasha. We see all the women down on the floor now. Ember and Naomi double team Becky in the ring. Becky runs up the ladder and goes for the case, but they push her ladder over into the corner. Ember and Naomi with more shots to Becky in the corner before they go at it with each other. Moon hip tosses Naomi onto the ladder that is leaning in the corner. Lana and Banks are in now. Sasha stops Lana with a big shot. Sasha will double knees to Lana and Moon in the corner. Banks counters a suplex, but Flair drops over the neck breaker. Flair goes to powerbomb Banks onto the ladder that is still laying on the second rope in the corner. Banks uses this to jump on the ladder under the case instead. Flair climbs after her. Natalya runs in and brings Flair off the ladder. Banks reaches the case but can't get it. So he gets to the top where the hanger is, and she can't get the pin because it's probably flipped around. Banks uses this to jump on the ladder. Banks reaches the case but can't get it. Becky climbs for the case, but Bliss and Banks both stop her. Bliss drops Becky and climbs up, but Banks pulls her off by her leg. Banks repositions the ladder and then climbs. Bliss and Becky join her on the ladder. Becky pulls Bliss off. Becky and Banks trade shots at the top of the ladder now. Lana brings the ladder in the ring now, standing it up. So we got double ladders. Bliss is on the other ladder, trying to pull Becky off. Moon is also up. 6 superstars are now on 2 ladders. Banks and Natalya come down. Bliss pulls Lana. Natalya powerbombs Sasha into the ladder. Becky comes down and brings the ladder with her. Lana kicks Bliss off the ladder. Flair brings Natalya back down. Lana and Moon trade shots up high. Flair pulls Moon down as Bliss pulls Lana down. Flair powerbombs Moon in onto a ladder leaning in the corner. Bliss climbs up. Flair takes Lana back down on the mat. Flair pulls Bliss off the ladder and goes for a powerbomb, but Bliss counters. Bliss climbs the ladder, but Lana pulls her back down and talks some trash. Lana climbs up the ladder, but Bliss stops her once again. Bliss talks some trash, and they tangle. Lana drops Bliss with a kick. Fans are cheering Lana, and they say Lana's going to be the queen of the ring, and is left by herself. Lana with an accolade on Bliss. Lana climbs up. Naomi leaps from the top of the ladder that Lana is on. Lana falls to the mat. Naomi grabs the case, but still cannot get it unhooked. Becky realizes that the ladder needs to be repositioned. She fixes it, climbs by herself as the pads pop. Flair quickly appears on the ladder and they trade shots on top. Bliss pushes them both over. Flair hits a spear on Bliss. Banks with a backstabber to Flair. And she tries to climb. Naomi shoves Banks' face into the ladder, and she goes down. Naomi climbs, but Lana pulls her down, sends her face first into the mat. Lana then climbs again, but Natalya drops her with an electric chair. Natalya climbs, and fans boo. Moon comes out of nowhere, takes Natalya off the ladder. Moon climbs up, but Flair yanks her off. Flair hits a spear into the ladder with Moon. At that point, I was predicting Ember Moon to win. Becky boots Flair as she charges. Becky with a back splitter to Flair. Bliss ends up bringing Becky down from the ladder, causing her to hit face first into another ladder in the corner. Then Bliss takes advantage and climbs back up as the fans cheer, and Bliss unhooks the briefcase with no problem and grabs it. Comes down with the briefcase for your win. After the match, Bliss poses on top of the ladder with a briefcase as the other superstars recover on the floor and look on. Go to replays. Bliss raises the case up on the ladder as we go backstage, and she comes down and exits. Raw General Manager Kurt Angle backstage watching with SmackDown General Manager Paige. They have some friendly but competitive words and agree that these dual branded pay-per-views events are a good time. Raw Constable Baron Corbin appears and knocks Angle. This leads to Paige dissing Corbin and mentioning how he failed his Money in the Bank cash-in. Corbin ends up walking off. We go back to ringside with Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Jonathan Coachman. We get a video package for the next match, which is Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal. Sunil Singh has introduced Jinder Mahal with a grand intro. Jinder Mahal makes his way out, and we see the other international announce teams in the arena. Roman Reigns was out next to a mixed reaction. And the bell rings and Jinder swings, but Reigns goes to work on him as Singh looks on from his wheelchair at ringside. Everybody in the house here will ask, why is he in a wheelchair? I'm predicting he's faking it. Well, he's also wearing a sling and a neck brace from the recent beatings. Reigns keeps control, and some fans try to chant for CM Punk. It sounds like there are some boring chants, too. Reigns with a really small drop for 2 counts. Jinder goes to the floor and talks with Singh for a timeout. There's no timeouts in wrestling. Some fans chant for WWE NXT as well. As it was NXT TakeOver Chicago, was on Saturday night. Reigns lands bad after a drive-by attempt on the apron. Singh magically gets up out of his wheelchair, as I was predicting, and drops Reigns by shoving him into the ring post. While the referee wasn't looking, Jinder took advantage and worked Reigns around on the floor, sending him into the German announce table and the barrier. Some fan chant for Rusev Day also. Jinder brings it back into the ring and works Reigns over for a 2 count. Jinder keeps Reigns grounded. Singh is back in his wheelchair, selling the so-called injuries. Jinder keeps Reigns grounded in the headlock. Reigns finally breaks it and looks to mount some offense, but Jinder launches him into the corner. Jinder stands tall and smiles. Jinder knocks Reigns from the apron and the barrier with a shoulder. Jinder follows to the floor and rocks Reigns before bringing him back in the ring. Jinder drops elbows on Reigns and covers for a 2 count. Jinder then drops more knees to the corner and holds one as the referee warns him. Jinder with more big blows to the head before keeping Reigns grounded again. Jinder continues to dominate and keeps Reigns down. Reigns moves and Jinder lands on his knee. Reigns strikes at a clothesline now. Reigns rocks Jinder off the ropes, but runs into a boot in the corner. Jinder comes off the second rope, but Reigns nails him in midair. Reigns with a big clothesline in the corner, and then runs the ropes, but Jinder hits a running knee for a 2 count. Jinder waits for the collar, but Reigns counters it. Jinder blocks a Samoan drop, but Reigns rocks him with a big boot. Reigns falls on top of Jinder for a 2 count. Reigns gets up first and then waits for Jinder. Reigns calls for the Superman punch and some fans boo. Jinder blocks the punch and they trade moves. Jinder drops Reigns with a big gut buster, but Reigns kicks out of 2. Jinder shows frustration. Jinder goes for the collars, but Reigns backs him into the corner and escapes. Reigns barely hits the Superman punch to boost for a close 2 count. Reigns gets back up and waits in the corner to a mixed reaction. Reigns calls for a spear, but Jinder knees him in the head. Then sends him to the shoulder first into the ring post. Jinder rocks Reigns on the apron. Reigns fights back as the trade blows. Reigns with a knee from the apron. Reigns with a leg drop to the back of the neck on the apron. Reigns with a drive-by. Reigns brings Jinder back in, but Singh gets on the apron to try and shove him in the ring post again, but Reigns puts on the brakes. This time, the referee catches Singh, faking the injuries. Reigns nails Singh with a Superman punch, knocking him back over the wheelchair. Reigns rocks Jinder through the ropes with a big punch. Singh gets up on the floor, but Reigns puts him back down with a spear. Reigns returns to the ring, and Jinder rolls him up for a 2 count. Reigns comes back, right back with a spear for the win. After the match, Reigns stands tall as the music hits as we go to replays. Reigns climbs the ropes and poses in the corner, while Singh and Mahal are still laid out. We see a video of Big Show interviewing Special Olympics powerlifter Katie Miller. Katie is sitting at ringside with her family tonight. She stands up as the fans chant her name. We go back to ringside with Tom, Byron Saxton, and Corey Graves. They show us highlights for the kickoff pre-show. Cass versus Bryan, and Lashley versus Zayn. SmackDown's women's title match, Asuka versus Carmella. We go to the ring. Out first comes Asuka to a pop. SmackDown Women's Champion Carmella was out next. I was kind of going with Asuka for this match, but stay tuned for the results. We go get reformal ring introductions from Hamilton. They lock up and go at it. Going to the ropes and breaking. Carmella shoves Asuka off to Asuka shows Asuka and shows off with the moonwalk. Asuka misses a spinning back fist, but Carmella retreats to the ropes. Carmella taunts Asuka and talks her trash from the ropes, then to the apron. Asuka tells her bring her back in the ring. Asuka catches a kick, but Carmella nails an open hand strike. Asuka just smiles. Carmella says she's not scared. They run the ropes. Asuka hits a hip attack. Asuka keeps control and slaps a kick. Asuka unloads with kicks on the ropes now. Asuka knocks Carmella off the apron to the floor with a hip attack. Fans cheer Asuka and stands tall. Carmella demands her title as the referee counts. Carmella rants about being the champion and doing what she wants. She turns around to Asuka leaping off the apron with double knees. Asuka motions for the title, and we get a replay. Referee's counts again. Carmella fights off Asuka, pulls her into the ring post. Asuka falls to the floor. Carmella brings Asuka back into the ring, covers her for 2 count. Carmella runs Asuka's face into the mat and mounts her from behind with a submission. Carmella ends up avoiding the Asuka lock and a back fist. Carmella drops Asuka and kicks her to the mat for another 2 count. Carmella keeps Asuka grounded. Asuka tries to fight out, up and out, but Carmella knees her back down. Carmella shows off some to boos from the crowd. Asuka misses a missile drop kick. Asuka catches the kick and drops Carmella into a knee bar. Carmella quickly gets to the bottom rope, and the hold is broken. Carmella with an elbow and some trash talking. Asuka takes it. Carmella slaps her. Asuka fights back, delivers a knee to the face. Asuka with a drop kick off the ropes. Asuka mounts offense now and nails a German suplex. Asuka with another hip attack for a 2 count. Asuka works on the arm and goes for Asuka lock, but Carmella avoids it. Asuka with more strikes, and Asuka goes for a hip attack while Carmella moves and she goes flying to the ropes, laying on the floor as the referee's counting. Asuka hangs on with it on the top rope, and she tries to come back in, but Carmella kicks her hand and Asuka lands hard on the floor. Carmella runs the ropes and flies through the ropes, taking Asuka down on the floor. Carmella brings her back in the ring before it's close to 2 count, and then another. Carmella screams after each 2 count, shows frustration, and she's complaining it was a slow count. Asuka with back fist now. Asuka counted for a 2 count. Asuka with more offense. A character dressed like Asuka, a robe of mascot, suddenly appears on the apron. Asuka stares at them, and they stare back. Carmella takes advantage of the distraction and rolls Asuka up for a 2 count. Asuka drops her and turns her attention back to the person on the apron. The person removes the mask, and it's James Ellsworth. The crowd pops. And pops for James Ellsworth, and Carmella super kicks Asuka and covers for the pinfall. And retains her title. After the match, Ellsworth hits the ring and celebrates with Carmella as she takes the title, and the music hits. We go to replays as they celebrate. To the back, Asuka recovers at ringside as Carmella and Ellsworth continue the celebration at the entrance. Well, get this. When Ellsworth left, they were apart. So his character kind of just ended. Now they're back together. We'll see how long that lasts. Back from the break, announcers plug the WWE Super Show down in Australia on October 6th, 5 days after my birthday, from October 1st, featuring Triple H versus Undertaker and airing on the WWE Network. So there's your mystery opponent and another match for the Undertaker. So we've got 2 more matches. One in Madison Square Garden and then one in Australia. Tom Phillips leads us to the video package for tonight's WWE title match. Last man standing match for the WWE title, Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. We go to the ring and Hamilton goes over the rules. Shinsuke was out first, Styles was out next. We're the last man standing match. We got formal ring introduction. Bell rings and they size each other up as fans do dueling chants. They lock up and Nakamura knees AJ. Takes him down. AJ gets right. Back up, fights up, back with strikes. Nakamura with another knee, AJ with a drop kick. Referee counts, but Nakamura's up at 2. AJ takes Nakamura from the ropes to the corner and back to the mat. Working him over, Nakamura goes back down. It's the referee's counting, but he gets up. AJ with a knee to the gut. Nakamura with an elbow, and dueling chants for the crowd continue. Styles sends Nakamura out of the ring. Nakamura lands on the floor, and the referee follows but doesn't count. AJ leaps out of the ring with a phenomenal forearm. Nakamura goes down on the floor as the referee counts. And yes, they're doing the counts outside the ring as well. Last man standing match. I guess anywhere. Counts are anywhere. Nakamura's up at 5. AJ grabs Nakamura, sends him into the barrier. AJ launches Nakamura into another barrier, and the referee counts, but he's up at 2. Nakamura rams AJ back in the barrier. Nakamura with a Northern Light suplex on the steel part of the ramp. Referee counts, but AJ gets back up at 6. Nakamura pounds on AJ and brings him back up to the apron. Delivers a running knee. Nakamura leaves AJ hanging off the apron and delivers a big stomp to the back of the head. They both go down. The referee counts. Nakamura's back up at 3. AJ's up at 5. Nakamura brings him back in the ring and keeps control as AJ tries to fight back. Nakamura drops AJ with another big shot to the chest. AJ gets back up at the 5 count. Nakamura with a bad vibrations in the corner. AJ grabs the leg and fights up out of the corner, but Nakamura ends up putting AJ back down with a kick to the head. Referees count, but AJ gets up before the 6 count. Nakamura positions AJ over the top turnbuckle, delivers the high knee. AJ falls out of the ring and hits the floor. Referees count again, but AJ jumps up at 5. AJ then rocks Nakamura at ringside. Nakamura sends AJ into the ring steps. Nakamura does bad vibrations against the steel steps outside the ring, and then sends AJ over the barrier into the crowd. Nakamura follows and boots AJ down. Nakamura toys with AJ before kicking him again. Nakamura with a knee to the gut, and then another. AJ ducks a shot and fights back with strikes. AJ with kicks against the barrier himself. Nakamura goes back over the barrier to the ringside area as AJ jumps on the barrier to leap at Nakamura, but Nakamura kicks the leg out, and AJ falls face first at ringside. Referee counts, but AJ gets back up at 7. Nakamura sends him right back into the steel steps. Nakamura brings AJ back in the ring and bullies him around with boots to the head. AJ gets up and fights back. AJ counters the reverse exploder and delivers a kick to the back of the head. A big kick to the head. Nakamura stumbles around. AJ nails a big drop kick off of a counter, and they both go down as the referee starts counting. They get up before 8 count. Styles drops Nakamura again. AJ with a big flying shot in the corner. More back and forth. AJ drops Nakamura, but he gets back up at 6 count. Nakamura goes for a low blow, but he fails. Nakamura misses a kick as AJ barely connects with a Pele kick. More back and forth now as Nakamura hits a reverse exploder suplex. Nakamura waits for the Kinshasa, but AJ counters it with a forearm to the face. The referee counts, but they both get up at 7. Styles scoops Nakamura and drops him again. Nakamura gets up at 8 count. On the 8 count, Nakamura kicks AJ's phenomenal forearm out of the air. Referee counts, and as they're both go to the floor, the fans do dueling chants again. Nakamura drops AJ into the timekeeper's area. Nakamura takes apart one of the announce tables as the fans pop. Nakamura slams AJ from the barrier to the announce table on his back. Nakamura dances around at ringside and waits for AJ to get up on the announce table. The referee counts. Nakamura runs all 3 announce tables and hits Kinshasa on AJ at the end of the 3rd table. Nakamura falls to the floor as AJ is also down on the announce table as the referee counts. Nakamura is up as AJ is up at the 9 count. Nakamura then nails AJ and throws him into the ring post. Nakamura with more strikes. Fans cheer as Nakamura brings the table from under the ring and slides it in. AJ is also in the ring now. Nakamura tries to stand the table up, but has to stop to knock AJ back down. Nakamura gets the table up in the middle of the ring. Nakamura takes AJ to the top for a superplex through the table, but AJ resists. AJ slides down, goes to powerbomb Nakamura to the table. Nakamura fights back, and the table gets knocked over. AJ gets chopped ribs first over the edge of the table. Referee counts as Nakamura puts the table leaning in the corner. AJ gets up, and Nakamura launches him through the table. Fans cheer as the referee counts AJ, who is folded up in the pieces of the table in the corner. AJ gets back up at 9. Just in time, Nakamura can't believe it as we go to a replay. More back and forth as they avoid shots in the exposed steel turnbuckle. Nakamura misses a high knee in the corner and instead hits the exposed turnbuckle with his knee. Styles kicks Nakamura's knee out and kicks him again. Fans with more dueling chants. Styles kicks the knee again. Styles continues stomping on Nakamura's injured leg. Referee counts, but Nakamura gets up. AJ goes for the calf crusher and gets it locked in. Nakamura taps, but it doesn't matter. AJ breaks a hold, and the referee counts on Nakamura again. Nakamura tries to get up, but the leg gives out. Nakamura gets up, and AJ knocks him right back down. Nakamura rolls out to the floor. AJ grabs a steel chair from the ringside, smacks Nakamura in the knee with it. AJ keeps control with more chair shots on the floor. Nakamura sits up on his knees, begs AJ to spare him. AJ goes for another big chair shot, but Nakamura hits him with a low blow. Referee counts, and Nakamura gets up at 3 count. Referee continues to count, but AJ gets right before the 10 count. Nakamura charges with a Kontacha as soon as AJ gets up. Referee counts, and AJ gets right up before the 10 count again. They tangle on top of the announce table. AJ pushes Nakamura off into the steel steps. AJ then nails a phenomenal forearm from the table to the floor. Referee counts, but AJ nails Styles. Clash from the step to the floor. Fan chant, holy crap. Referee counts, but Nakamura barely makes it up in time. AJ can't believe it. Nakamura tells AJ to bring it. AJ kicks Nakamura with a stiff low blow. AJ returns to the ring and springboards back out, nailing a big phenomenal forearm to put Nakamura through the announce table. Fan chant, holy crap again, as both superstars are down. Referee counts as AJ is up first at 7. Nakamura cannot make it up, and AJ retains. After the bell, AJ stands tall, has his arm raised, while also raising the WWE title in the air. AJ's music hits as Nakamura is still laid out on what's left of the announce table. AJ returns to the ring with the title and stands tall as a go to replace. AJ celebrates as officials help Nakamura recover at ringside. Back from a break, and Michael Cole is with Corey Graves and Coachman. They send us to another video package for the next match. Raw Women's title match, Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax. And my guess was interference. We got a ring. Out first comes Raw Women's Champion, Nia Jax. Rousey will out next for her first singles match in WWE. Former UFC champion is all smiles as she heads to the ring. We get formal ring introductions from JoJo. The bell rings and Nia rams Rousey into the corner and thrusts her. Jax manhandles Rousey and then launches her across the ring a few times. Rousey sidesteps as Jax charges in the corner. Rousey with strikes, and now back to Jax in the corner. Jax fights up and out. Drops Rousey with a headbutt. Jax keeps control as the fans cheer for them both. Rousey fights off Jax's shoulders and goes for the armbar. Rousey falls to the ropes and out of the ring. Landing on her head, Jax stalks Rousey on the outside. Jax ragdolls Rousey into the barrier and brings her back into the ring for a 2 count. Rousey tries to fight back, but Jax overpowers her and presses her high, dropping her back to the mat for another pin attempt. Rousey catches Jax in a guillotine hold, but it's broken. Jax ends up spiking Rousey into the mat and manhandling her some more. Rousey tried to avoid a bear hug, but Jax gets it applied in the middle of the ring. Jackson catches Rousey off the ropes with a big Samoan drop, but Rousey kicks out at 2. Jax sits up and maybe showing some frustration. Rousey kicks from the mat, but Jax headbutts her while she's down. Jax runs the ropes for a leg drop, but Rousey moves out of the way as Jax lands hard on her butt. Jax charges in the corner, but hits the steel ring post shoulder first on the next try, and as Rousey moves, Rousey then grabs Jax for the armbar on the ropes, but the referee counts and she breaks a hold. Rousey falls from the ropes to the floor. Rousey goes to the top rope, and Jax slowly recovers. Jax gets up and turns around into a big crossbody from Rousey. That Jax kicks out at 2 from a pin attempt. Rousey mounts offense and makes a comeback, unloading on Jax. Rousey with a judo throw for a 2 count. Rousey goes for the armbar again, but it's turned into a 2 count. Rousey hits a modified rock bottom and goes for the armbar. Jax screams at Rousey, eventually turns it into the armbar again. Well, Alexa Bliss comes from I don't know where and nails Rousey with a Money in the Bank briefcase near the ring ropes for the disqualification. Winner by disqualification, Nia Jax. After the bell, Bliss then lays Jax out with a briefcase. Bliss unloads on Rousey with the briefcase as Jax crawls to the corner. Referee asks Bliss if she's catching in, but she looks to be passing on it. She returns to the floor, beats on Rousey with the case some more. Bliss returns to the ring and then hits Jax some more in her injured arm. Bliss hands the case over to the referee and is catching in as JoJo makes a formal announcement. Raw Women's, as she makes a pinfall on Nia. Well, the bell rings, and we now have Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. 30-second match. Bliss takes out the leg as the bell rings. Bliss nails the DDT. Bliss focuses on the injured arm and goes up top for the Twisted Bliss. Nails it. Pinfall for the title. Winning new women's champion, Alexa Bliss. After the match, Bliss takes the title, celebrates as the music hits. Jax recovers and clutches her arm, staring Bliss down. Bliss is all smiles as she raises the title on the stage and talks her trash back at the ring. We go to replays. Bliss poses with the title on the stage as we go back to a break. Back from the break, and the announcers lead us to a promo for the main event. Men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor versus Rusev versus KO versus Bobby Roode versus Miz versus Braun Strowman versus Kofi Kingston. We go to the ring. Out first comes Samoa Joe for tonight's main event. We see Money in the Bank briefcase hanging above the ring. Finn Balor was out next. Aiden English was out next to do the introductions for Rusev. Kevin Owens was out next, followed by Bobby Roode. Out next from the Miz. Braun Strowman was out last as the other superstars looked on. It's time to find out who the New Day is sending into the match. As their music hits, Big E, Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston all come out to the stage and talk it over. Big E moves forward, but steps back. Woods acts like he's going to the ring next, but it's Kofi. That's my prediction all along. Because he's the best qualified for this ladder match. Fan chant for Kofi as the bell rings. Everyone attacks Braun, takes him into the corner. Braun fights his way out. Balor charges Braun, but he gets dropped. Braun splashes Roode and the Miz at the same time in the corner. Owens charges, but Braun floors him. Braun stands tall and yells out. Strowman grabs the ladder to bring in, but Joe hits him from behind. Kofi launches himself at Braun on the floor. Braun drops Owens onto the ramp as he charges. Miz and Roode double team Braun with the ladder shots. Roode and Balor drop Braun with a ladder attack now. And they bury Braun under a bunch of ladders on the stage. There's about 20-something ladders. Miz takes advantage of the Braun burial and runs back in the ring to stand a ladder up. Miz climbs up, but Joe runs in the ring and pushes the ladder over. Miz begs Joe from his knees. Joe drops Balor as he tries to enter the ring. Joe rams Miz back into the corner with the ladder. Kofi with trouble in paradise to Joe, and a ladder drop kick to Miz. Kofi lays a ladder on Miz and hits a boom drop onto it. Kofi stands the ladder up as fan chant for the New Day. Owens pulls Kofi off the ladder. Owens misses pop-up powerbomb, but hits Kofi with a super kick. Owens climbs up, but Balor stops him. Balor gets his hand on the case, but Owens brings him down. They trade shots, and Balor drops Owens for a double leg drop. Balor and Owens go back and forth. They go to the floor as Owens sends Balor into a ladder, standing at ringside. Owens super kicks Balor, and he falls on top of the announce table. Owens climbs up a ladder for what looks like it might be a frog splash through the table on the floor. Owens changes his mind and climbs back down. Going into the ring to stop Rusev from climbing for the case, Rusev hits a fallaway slam on Owens, sending him onto a ladder. Joe unloads on Rusev in the corner. Kofi springboards in and takes Joe down. Kofi climbs for the case, but Miz stops him. Kofi sends Miz out of the ring. Kofi goes up top and leaps out, taking the others down, but they try to catch him outside the ring. Balor runs the ropes and next and lands out on the others. Balor grabs one of the ladders that's on top of Braun, but Braun is up now. Braun grabs the ladder and shoves it back at Balor. Roode runs up, but Balor drops him. Braun floors Kofi on the ramp with a shoulder. Joe leaps at Braun with a big forearm. Owens super kicks Braun. Rusev super kicks Braun. They beat Braun to the other side of the stage and work him over. Owens stands up a table near the ladders. Owens and Rusev put Braun on the table. Braun fights back, but Joe puts Braun in the coquina clutch. Braun fades as Owens super kicks him. Braun is placed on the table. Owens climbs the tall ladder. Braun fights up for the table and rocks Joe. Then Rusev. Owens begs Braun not to tip the ladder over. Owens climbs down and Braun climbs up the other side. Braun grabs Owens and moves him back to the top. Braun tosses Owens from the top of the ladder through what looks like a table and production case down below. Fan chat, holy crap, now an official checks on Owens. Braun makes his way back to the ring and drives Kobe down on the pile of ladders. Braun bulldozes his way through a ladder. Rusev and Rude. Miz is shot. Miz climbs, but Braun enters the ring and stops him. Braun climbs up, clubs Miz to the mat, and then climbs up the ladder. Joe drops Braun with a ladder shot. Joe clotheslines Braun to the floor. Balor drop kicks Braun into the timekeeper's area. Balor meets Joe at the top of the ladder. Under the case now, Rude returns to the ring and stops him. Or stops them both. Balor lands hard on the outside. Rude and Joe both go at it. Joe nails a Uranagi. Joe and Rusev brawl out. Joe gets sent to the outside. Rusev drops Rude. Rusev blocks Trouble in Paradise and floors Kobe with a big kick to the head. Rusev with a double accolade on Kobe and Rude at the same time. Miz comes from behind, hits the skull crusher finale on Rusev, but is blocked. Rusev super kicks Miz and applies the triple accolade on Miz, Rude, and Kobe. Joe with a coquina clutch on Rusev. Rusev drops Joe and climbs the ladder as a fan chant for Rusev Day. Miz hits the ladder as Rusev falls on the rope like a hot shot. Miz climbs up. Kobe meets him at the top. Kobe touches the case, as does Miz. They both fall. Well, it's a swinging now. Balor with a sling blade. Miz and Kobe both get sent to the floor. Balor drops Rude. Balor climbs the ladder. That is standing at ringside. Balor tries to make a massive leap and does. Nailing coup de grace on Rude from way up high. Balor climbs for the case, but Braun enters the ring and pulls Balor down, taking him out. Braun slams Joe. Miz runs the ladder, but Braun pulls him down for another big slam. Braun climbs the ladder, as does Balor. Kobe gets on Braun's back and climbs up with him. Balor gets his hand on the case above Braun. Braun hits him. Balor goes down to the mat. Kobe is still on Braun's back. Braun launches Kobe to the mat, off of the shoulders. Braun then retrieves the briefcase for the win. After the match, fans pop as Braun poses on top of the ladder with the Money in Bank briefcase. We go to the replays. Braun raises the towel over his head as his music plays and the other superstars try to recover. Money in Bank then goes off the air with Braun celebrating. That concludes my results for Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on the video. If you don't know, it's coming, brothers and sisters. Peace out.